I've learned as a parent and teaching them, I value the fact that I did take the time
Yes.
to sit down and teach them not only life skills, but to teach them the word. Like anybody that knows me know I'm a stickler for teaching my kids the word. And so they got both sides. They got life. They got the mama that didn't play, and then they got them. They got all of it. Then they got the mom that taught them about the word. So when I look at them now, I can actually say I used to get so much. People used to always be thinking to me when I would say set up boundaries, and they would be like, "Mom, why?" Like my daughter, when she went through her little period of stage of dating, and she was just like, rebellious. And I thought, oh my God, I remember I used to have so many people praying for me, like, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. And I remember she came to me a year later when we moved from Florida to Georgia, and she said, "Ma, so I was just thinking about some stuff, and I treated you really bad during that time that I was dating, and I feel so bad about that." And she said, "I just wanted to apologize for you." That literally broke me because I had just gotten married. And I had been single for like 7 years, just got married. My husband was wonderful to my kids. My kids loved him. He loved them. And she literally acted a plain fool. And I was like, what in the world? Where did this come from? And it's because I don't think she understood that I was able to see the areas that she was hurting, because her dad and we've been divorced like 7-8 years. And so she didn't understand, like she thought that I didn't understand her feelings or her emotions about the separation and the divorce. And I think, and this is why I always say to parents, is that just because you and the parent divorce, you move on with your lives, the children still need help maneuvering through the divorce, because we get divorced and we go on. We like, oh, I'm good. I'm gonna go on with my life and do whatever I want. The kids have to, I think sometimes we forget to help navigate the kids through that divorce too, because they start to feel like, well, what about me? Sometimes they even take it personal and think, did they divorce because of me?
You have to have that conversation with it, but also, it wasn't easy for me and my ex-wife. I mean, we went at it, but my daughter never saw me talk bad about her mom.
That's really good.
Even when her mom wasn't around, she never saw me fighting with her mom, because I wanted her to understand, like, a male can still get along with someone that's not. We take pictures together. My daughter graduated from college,
that's
last
amazing.
year.
That's amazing.
When it came down to our child, we really got along. So yeah, it's very, very important that you try to have that relation. Not gonna say it's not easy. I'm not gonna say it happens all the time, but as a man, I think, like, never let your child hear you talk negative about their mom. Right. My daughter asked me questions about her mom sometimes. Like, she's like, "Dad, do you think mom's pretty?" In the back of my mind, I'm like, your mom is such a beautiful woman. And so one time, I remember one time we were going to go do something for her sweet 16, and her mom got in my car, and my daughter was like, "Whoa, what's going on here? Like, why's mom in your car?" I said, "We got to take care of some business." And she was going to hop on the school bus, and she was like, "Why is mom in your car though?" I said, "Listen, take care of some business. We got this." She walked away. She goes, "I'm just confused right now." But I let her know that, hey,
right, you can be cordial.
You can still be, you can still be cordial. Like I said, it's not easy. I'm not gonna sit here and say, give you guys, this is a perfect situation. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm talking about guys as the gender guys.
Right.
Like, absolutely. You have to try to work that situation out with your ex-wife, ex-mother, whoever she is, and just say, hey, can we put the kids first? You can hate me all you want to, but can we just do this for our child? Doesn't work out, you have to keep asking. You have to, like, make sure you're doing, like, what can I do to make our relationship better for our children? Right. That's what you have to do. And I mean, it does get easier as they get older, because they're more self-sufficient. But if you the first thing you can do is you have to ask that person to forgive you for whatever you did, because no one's perfect. So whatever you did to that female, whatever you did to that male, whatever situation may be, you have to ask for forgiveness. And then if they don't forgive you, then you're released. Yeah. Because you already asked for forgiveness, right? Yeah. And then you can say, okay, well, now I just want to try to move on and try to do better for, our child. That's all you can really possibly do to try to make it more civil, because you don't want that to spill over to the kids.
Yeah, and it's funny because divorce in today's time can be, as we can see, can be pretty nasty, and it's difficult because when you got one person who is dealing with unforgiveness, right, and you have to be the one to be the bigger person. Sometimes that can be, and I know a lot of you might have that are watching probably like, well, I am cordial, but my spouse or my ex-spouse isn't, right? How do you, as a parent, set boundaries? And we're going to move over into the next part because we're probably not going to have time to go through all of them, but we're going to go through as much. Just to see, this conversation is really amazing, right? So we're going to talk about how to set boundaries, right? When it comes to you as a parent, right? How do you set boundaries in place when it comes to, because when most people that are divorced, some people are divorced and they never remarry again and never enter in relationships again. And then you have some that enter into they start going in to start introducing themselves to the opportunity to have relationships. How does a single parent from a male's perspective set boundaries? Because we always talk about it from a woman's perspective, but I'm curious to know from a male's perspective, how do you set boundaries as a parent when it comes to dating and starting new relationships?
So you don't let your child see the person you're dating unless you're serious.
I totally agree with that.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, you want to, when you feel like it's getting serious, you can incorporate that child into the person that but it's baby steps, maybe meet at a park or a dinner or whatever. But for a male point, for me, and this is just me, if my ex, and this happened with my ex-wife, is seeing someone and you're serious, I would come here like, hey, I think I need to meet the person that you're dating. It's gonna be around my child. That's just how it is. And your ex should probably already know that you're not the one to be messed with when it comes down to your kid being hurt. Whatever situation that may be. That's just a given, right? So, and it goes vice versa too, as a male. Like you want your ex to meet whoever you're seeing, even if it's at a school function, even if it's at a soccer, whatever situation means, everybody should be able to be cordial, right?
Absolutely.
So I think there's nothing to hide, I think it should be a cordial situation, like, hey, this is such and such and such and such. I want you guys to meet, and vice versa. And then a guy should be able to handle, if you're truly over your ex,
right,
you should be able to handle, she's saying, there's no reason for you to be mad at this person, at the male, because the person is coming in, you should be mad at that person. Only time you should be mad at that person if that person is trying to be in your business and try to be, not just a father figure, but trying to be supersede what you're saying. But you should have a sit down conversation with that person and be like, here's my expectations of how you need to be with this. If you have a problem, please give me a call. Especially if they're gonna get married, not like it's a whole situation.
Right.
But if it's just gonna be dating, I think it should be, hey, have a conversation. But on the flip side of that, you have a talk with your child. Like, let me tell you something. Let me know what's going on. Person puts their hands on you, you feel unsafe. I'm an open door. You can always come to me, because no matter what, your mom gets married, dad gets married, we're all going to still be that family unit. So it has to be a mature situation when it comes down to the dating aspect of it. You have to make sure, even if one party's not over the other party, you still have to have that conversation and meet that person.
Yeah. And I like to add to that too, is I think you as a parent have to know, once you enter into a new phase where you're divorced and you are ending a relationship, whether it's divorce or period, I think what happens is you have to understand, you have to take time to reflect and figure out, okay, what went wrong, what areas